Hello, welcome back to the Autonomous Developer Sync. Today, as always, we have quite a bit to go over, so we can just go ahead and jump in. I don't have any general, I guess, updates. I'll say, we had permissionless. What was that now? 2 weeks ago. We've got DevCon coming up in a few weeks, so continuing with the conference circuit to kind of finish up the year. But yeah, that's the big general stuff. Jim, you want to jump in with ecosystem?
Yeah, thanks, Jeremy. Just check I'm off mute. So since we last held a DevSync, we ran the Nano Space Race, which was a success. We had some live demo gremlins, but ultimately it was a success. The community smashed the target in short order, which was wonderful to see. So this week we are planning to run the micro space race, and I can confirm I missed this originally, but I can confirm that the micro space race the intention is to launch the Taurus testnet, so our persistent testnet, which is exciting. Keep an eye out for the event in Discord, and there'll be a forum post as well, just kind of summarizing what everyone can expect for the mainnet launch. I do want to remind everyone, of course, that we launch when we're ready. This is heavily caveated. I know we've been sharing our plans or our planned timeline, but it is dependent on us being ready. We're not going to launch before. And I think we're going to get an update on DevNet a little further down the call. So specifically for ecosystem, the Big Bang contests are underway. So we've got the graffiti wall. We're seeing some great creativity, some wonderful submissions for the graffiti wall, and of course a chance to become part of the data that we're going to upload at launch. We also have the plotometer contest, which is squarely targeting devs. Emil's on the call, he's heading that up. I see we're getting some questions coming through, which is wonderful because that tells us that we're getting some participation there. I think we know of a few guys who are going to make an entry there, but it's great to see. We have the knockout meme contest. So we love seeing the memes. I specifically like seeing the ones that maybe rib us a little bit. So yeah, do keep those entries coming, and there's going to be a knockout round where everyone votes. You get matched against each other, and the public vote will end up in like a semi-final, a quarter-final, quarter-final, semi-final, and then of course the grand finale. We also have the Big Rig Showdown, which Randy is heading up. We love seeing your hardware. Again, pop down in the channel in Discord and show us some pics. And of course, there are prizes. There's some cold hard USDC up for grabs, and of course, some limited edition legacy merch. Terms and conditions apply. Please do check the rules, which are all over on the forum. And on that, I do want to point out the end dates are not set in stone. Wednesday's farmer office hours will determine when we'll be closing submissions down, and our plan is that we're going to announce the winners on our mainnet launch party. There will be more Big Bang initiatives coming through the launch and phase one. It doesn't end at mainnet. There's going to be some we've got some other things that we're cooking up in the community team, which including actually a recognition of Genesis farmers. So make sure and jump in early when we launch mainnet phase one. Okay, I also want to appeal to everyone to participate in the community rewards audit. So far, no discrepancies have been found, and Mark has made it super easy for everyone to connect their wallets up to Astral and see their earnings. I think Mark's going to demo that in a little while. And then finally, the community team are planning and looking forward to a fun and engaging launch party call. We're going to pull out all the stops there, so yeah, we're hoping that we're going to see everyone join us. That's it for community. Thanks, Jeremy.
Great. So I guess as a first step to planning a launch party community call is figuring out where we are with launch status. So let's go over to Daria to give an update of where we're at.
Well, testing around the clock, and I mean, all of you are like, this team's incredible. You launch like a new build a new build on a Saturday night and go to Slack and everybody's online and everybody's running it and reporting bugs and putting up logs, and Nazar's been here, I don't know for how many hours online trying to debug this thing. So we're really trying to clean it up. And if like you have ever played roguelike games, that's like really what it feels like, because we're trying to get the whole sequence through, and then we launch Genesis Farmer and a Bootstrap and a Timekeeper, and then we do this and then we do that, then I enable farming, and then something fails, then we fix it and we go back and we start again. We do Genesis Farmer and the Bootstrap and this and that until it all gets through. And we have found some issues that have been fixed. You can see, if you're following our GitHub, you can see requests being opened, being merged. Nazar has done a lot of optimizations also to early sync for the networks where there are not many farmers and other things like that. But, sometimes, fixing bugs unfortunately introduces other bugs and things that are not really testable until you have way more people online and way more data on your network, which takes a long time to get. So we're doing our best. Nazar and Shamil are now debugging last couple of issues, hopefully the last couple of issues that we have. And we will be holding the community call on Wednesday to try to get even more people online and make sure it's still stable. So let's see how that goes. We're just getting this close. There's like always some last thing you need to churn out, and hopefully we can make it through.
It was a fun weekend. I mean, sometimes working through a weekend is drudgery, but it is kind of fun when we're getting to the end here, and I appreciate everybody being online and available. I know Carlos, yesterday you were spending fixing the history seeding to make it kind of bulletproof. So it was a great team effort this weekend. So
And
all
I think
right,
we also fried Jim's new CPU. Do we? I think we did.
I dropped off mine to the hospital yesterday, so to the computer hospital. We'll see how it's doing, and it said 7 to 10 days to get back to me. So well, fun stuff. Jim, is yours fried? Is this true?
I haven't seen any magic smoke come out. There is a bit of a funny smell in the air, but it is still running. It is still running.
All right, Mark.
Yes.
You were mentioned earlier with this rewards, incentivized testnet rewards page you've been working on. You want to kind of demo what that looks like?
Yeah, give me a minute. I'm going to share my screen. So you guys see Astral? Perfect. So we added a new section, Testnet Rewards, on the top. And now you can connect your wallet. I'm going to switch to our test shared wallet. The loading is a bit slow. It's basically loading the whole Excel file that we uploaded on the GitHub Foundation. So a few 100,000 lines to load. And then it breaks down per network, per testnet that you participate in StakeWare 1. You see the amount of token that you token or blocks or eligible address if you're eligible. In this case, our testnet wallet was run by you, Jeremy, for Gemini 3, and as well StakeWare as an operators. So we see that we collected a few tokens on Gemini 3 and a few rewards on StakeWare 1. And that correlates to some allocation of AI3 token. So in this case, this wallet will get 467 token, participate in 2 testnet. So this is now the same exact CSV file that we uploaded on the foundation. We discovered a few bugs thanks to the community. We addressed them. Now I think it's pretty solid. There's no one else that came back with issue or discrepancy. But yeah, that should be the allocation that user will have on the Genesis block as soon as we launch mainnet. You can also add extra wallet. So connect more wallet, and then you can select in the drop-down a different wallet. I don't think I have any wallets that qualify to more, and that will aggregate the total of all your wallets together. Pretty much it.
Great, thank you. Well, I think we've been very focused on transparency in this process, and really looking forward to any community feedback. Whether it's issues found, that we want to make sure this whole thing is as accurate as possible. So, thank you, Mark, for all the work on that. I know Diana helped with the designs on that to make it really
Totally.
kind of clear. So, and great work. All right, on to the next demo. Carlos, you've been just feature after feature into AutoDrive. Where are we at now?
Sorry for the infinite screen. Do you see it?
Yeah,
We're good.
we see.
Okay, so basically the main changes that we have done in the last few weeks has been mainly two. The first one is the limitation of downloads and uploads for the users. Basically, users gonna receive a certain amount of credits. For example, in this case, 100 megabytes for downloads and for uploads. And this could be a monthly limit that could be given to the user. For example, if we hit the button of download here, and we reload. Oh. Okay, I think that it didn't. But if we, now the file was downloaded, and if we refresh, we could check out that the download limit has been reduced.
We don't see your mouse moving.
Huh?
We don't see your mouse moving.
Don't you?
Yeah, I think
we
it
had
might be
this
a
the other
I think
day.
when
You
you
might,
open like a new window,
Yeah,
it doesn't share it.
you might need
have to share the whole screen.
or just reshare the window. We had this the other day, and
Yeah, I'll try to.
on developer office hours, which I'll just plug. If anyone missed it, there's a great developer office hours video we put up last week. Emil showed us how to use the SDK.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, we had the same issue.
I don't know. It works.
Yeah.
Now it's working.
Yeah. Does it work right now?
Yep.
Cool. So basically, the credit limitation is a functionality for not overloading the network without a limit. And it works for downloads and for uploads. And yeah, basically, if you upload another file, for example, I had one prepared here. For example, this image, for example, the credits should have been reduced. And this is one of the functionalities that we've implemented. Also, we've added like an administrator panel for controlling these limits. That, for example, I could set up my limit higher to 100 gigabytes, for example. And if I refresh, this has changed. Okay, this was one of the main features that we've developed, and the other that was something that was being asked sooner and more interesting could be is the API key management that basically enables a user to generate an API key for basically interact with the AutoDrive application, but from a server or for any application, right? We hit the generate button, and now we can copy. And with this API key, we could interact with the API with the RESTful API that we have in AutoDrive through Node.js or any kind of server. Just for showing how to do so, I'll use Postman. That basically what I'm doing here.
It's not updating again the screen. So.
Okay, I'll share the just the Postman. Anyways, no.
Yep.
So basically, sorry. Basically, what we're doing here is uploading a file to the to AutoDrive through this endpoint. And for this, we have to firstly configure like some data, like the data of the file name, and the meme. And then also the authorization that first we have to set up the token as the API key, basically, this way. So the bird token and the API key. And also a custom header that basically tells the API, the server, how which authentication provider we're using. Also, for example, the application, the front end, uses the Google Auth provider. So this is why we have to specify. So we hit the send button. We have this CID that if we go back to the AutoDrive. Here, if we go back to files, we'll get this file that has been just downloaded. And if we download it, we'll see this. That is the data that I've just sent. And basically, that is the demo for today.
This is awesome. So we put the limit, so then it's free to upload, but every user can upload a certain limit, basically, right, to make it fair for everyone, right? So it's the Subspace Foundation that will fund the allocation, I guess.
I guess so. Yeah, that is the foundation who's gonna sponsor it.
There'll be some.
Yeah, it's basically kind of like a grant for a community to try to use the network, try to use things. So we've decided it was a good thing to allocate some funds to.
Totally awesome.
And since at the launch of the network, tokens won't be transferable. This will make it so that if you don't have a wallet with tokens, also you'll be able to.
I totally want to build some NFT platforms on top of that.
Yeah. Speaking of which, weren't you doing that this weekend, Mark?
Exactly.
So, what was it? Eternal Mint XYZ.
Exactly.
Should we plug your NFT project here?
Very
Eternal
early.
Mint XYZ. Cool. So that was great, Carlos. It's amazing watching it. Every time we get a demo of this, it's looking more and more like a full application and ready to be used. And hopefully launching sometime close to our mainnet launch. So, but with an official, ready to use version. So, one of the key things, what we're seeing there with the AutoDrive is, interactions with a caching layer and then going, via RPC into the blockchain. But the actual vision of what's how that's going to be going forward is that it's not just a caching layer and it's not just the call data that's directly into like the RPC into the blockchain, but it is actually archived and truly permanent within kind of the DSN or the network. And so along those lines, and I talked about this last time, TUR has been working diligently to getting the object mapping. So as that data is going in, they're getting disseminated in a way. Well, a message is being produced that says, "Hey, here's where that data went." AutoDrive will be listening for those messages to kind of keep the status of this data. So, whether it's just been uploaded, cached, or whether it's actually been archived and is in the DSN, that'll all be visible in the AutoDrive application. If for whatever reason the multiple layers of data cache, so we're going to have the data access layer cache. So not the DSN cache, but the actual access layer cache. If it's not there for whatever reason, then it can go down and grab it directly from the DSN the same way that we sync nodes. And so at this point, we have the mappings and the event being, the message being emitted that can be listened to. It says, here's where that data is located within the DSN. And next, I believe we have open PRs right now for kind of the gateway to be able to then request specific data out of the DSN by the hash. So that work is getting close to completion and ready for kind of full testing. So TR has been great there. That's all I have for this week. Does anybody have anything to add before we sign off? All right, we will see you all again in 2 weeks.